posture looking good.
Yes, this is how I fight my battle by Upper Room. What an incredible song. It is surrounded. How do you fight your battle? Because life is one big battle for so many people out there, going day by day. It's kind of tough, but well, you have to be tougher as well. Well, this is me, your host, John, and it's an absolute pleasure to come online once again with incredible, value based conversation. That's all we are here for. If you're tuning in live on Facebook or on our radio platform, you can see the guest that we have today is an incredible gentleman. You'll see why in just a few. By the name of Sylvester. I was about to say Sylvester Stallone. It is Sylvester Buti. And we are going to have a conversation about the business that he is running. And well, before we get into that, I'd like to give him an opportunity to give a shout out to family, friends, fans, or anyone who's, who he has inspired and impacted.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Johnny. It's good to be here, man. It's such an honor to be here and share the value that I have, share my experience with everybody else. So I would definitely I know I have a couple of people listening right now. First, to my wife.
Ooh, shout out.
She's probably blushing right now. But yeah, shout out to my wife. She's super instrumental in everything that we're doing. Shout out to my sisters and all my business partners that we're moving forward with. Yeah, man.
Awesome. Shout out to you guys. And you're tuning in right now, man. We just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to give you some incredible information. We guaranteed by the end of this session that you'll have some information that you can actually practically implement in your business, or something that will give you an idea. We are all about business ideas here. This is the Have You Got What It Takes session. And well, have you got what it takes to become the kind of person that is seated opposite of me? He's an incredible gentleman, guys. So let me just start by reading his bio. Sylvester Buti is a 27-year-old e-commerce entrepreneur and e-commerce coach. Through Dropshipping Academy, he has coached over 2,000 people about dropshipping in South Africa and closely mentored over 300 students to start their own businesses. Over a 7-year career, Sylvester Buti has also founded multiple dropshipping brands, generating over 8 figures. Yeah, with My Smooth Skin being one of the more notable ones in South Africa. The mission of Dropshipping Academy is to enrich regular South Africans with dropshipping resources and knowledge that will allow them to go from zero to hero in the e-commerce industry. They provide free value through their blog, social media, community groups, and premium courses. Well, as I told you, we're just about to get into it. We're going to unravel the whole of this drop shipping. I mean, this is something that I myself got introduced or heard about not too long ago. And it was by, a certain young lady. I was like, what are you talking about? Dropship, what is that? Then I went and Googled it. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to just give us a breakdown of what dropshipping is?
All right. Well, dropshipping is a very simplified way. Maybe you want to start an online business, or specifically, you want to start an online store. Dropshipping makes it very simple to get started because it has less overheads than the traditional, your typical online store or your typical retail business.
All right.
So to put it in simple language, drop shipping is basically an online business model, or rather, let me say an online retail business model where an online store owner doesn't have to stock the products that they sell. All right. Whereas typically you have to stock products, right? You have to buy stock in order to sell stuff. So with dropshipping, you don't have to buy stock. Instead, for every time that somebody buys on your website or somebody orders on your website, then you forward that order to the supplier, and the product will be shipped directly from the supplier straight to the customer.
Wow.
So essentially, you become a middle person between the supplier and the customer.
Wow.
All right. So it's a very simplified method to get going. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's dropshipping 101 for you. You know, if you're listening to that, I'm like, this is really cool stuff. I mean, it gives easy access.
Yes,
easy access to
that's
these.
the big benefit. That's the big, that's the top thing in regards to dropshipping.
Wow, because I mean, as you said, first stocking stuff means you have to have capital.
It means you have to have capital.
Oh my goodness.
You have to have warehousing where you're going to keep the goods. You need to have logistics in place, right? The people that are going to courier your stuff and so on. So it takes. You also have to. Oh man, it takes away a lot of hassles, right? So yeah, that's dropshipping.
Wow, this is cool stuff, man. I mean, I'm very eager for anything that actually gives anybody potential, anybody with potential, access to money making, something that will keep them busy and productive with their life. I'm for that.
Yeah, and this is, I think, starting an online business right now is at the height of everything because, if you just pay attention to the trends, not just with COVID-19 that forced us to work from home,
much quicker.
You can start to see the business trends are moving more towards, digital, whether you're selling services or you're selling actual physical products, or just even like wanting to eat food, you can order food online. You can order a ride instead of going outside and waiting for a taxi. It can come directly to you. So you can see the trend, everything. You can sort of predict where the future is going. So it's super essential to start implementing online strategies within your business, whether it is dropshipping or whatever.
Just a typical online store or something. Wow, this is cool stuff, guys. You better latch on this one. This is like, if you latch on this one now, then it's gonna give you a head start for the next 5-10 years.
That's the big advantage.
Absolutely, this is cool. So let's go to the very beginning. How did you venture out in dropshipping? Where did this all start?
It's quite a weird story. I don't know how to simplify it, but I was just thinking it's just the wisdom that God gave me, because I had this idea of like, okay, I want to start a shop, I want to sell. Back in the day, I was into fashion and stuff.
Okay, all right.
So I wanted to sell all these cool clothing items. So my idea was, okay, we're going to get space. We're going to rent some space, at a mall. We're going to have,
Yeah.
So that was the idea that I had, and to implement it became very difficult because then I started meeting challenges like, oh my God, rent is so expensive.
Yeah.
I need money to actually buy the stock. I need, a lot of things, but the basic thing is I didn't have the money to get started. And I was just thinking, how can I move forward? All right. So one day I had this really brilliant idea to just approach a supplier and say,
Sorry.
listen, man, I don't have money to buy all this stuff, but what I want to do is list all this stuff, create a website, list all this stuff on my website, sell this stuff, and every time I receive orders, I just forward them to you, and you just ship them. Like, I pay you for what for your items, and you just ship them to customers.
Wow.
Little did I know
this is drop
shipping. That's why I say it's just the wisdom that God gave me, that's how I started.
Well, drop shipping before it's time.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I mean, this is incredible. Well, I mean, whenever you start something, whenever you venture out, you always get hit by these obstacles that you didn't even see. Then you're like, oh wow, I didn't even consider A, B, C, and D, and then it's all of a sudden, well, it's a mountain in front of me, and I have to. There's always ways of circumventing, and wherever there is a will, there is a way.
Yes,
so,
yes.
And
absolutely.
then, how long have you been in this game?
Well, dropshipping specifically, I think it has to be, I would say, a total of 7 years. But online business, maybe I started like trying small here, small here. Probably since I was 19 or so.
Wow.
Trying to sell, ebooks on the internet. So the online business, I got started earlier.
Yes.
Like, I would say maybe it's been 8 years, 9 years.
Wow.
So obviously that background got me into this idea of having an online store.
Absolutely. And so you saw the success in this and the growth in this, but then you didn't want to keep it to yourself. You started an academy.
Yes.
How did you start coaching and eventually an academy?
Well, while I was dropshipping full time, like I said, dropshipping takes a lot of overheads. It takes a lot of responsibility of your hands. So you're not as busy.
For sure.
So literally, if I wake up in the morning and I start checking my emails, start doing work and everything, by 11:30, most of the time I was done with work.
Wow.
So I felt like there was something I could do with all this time, and I was looking to be, just live a useful life, help people. So I thought to myself, what can I do to help people? And obviously at the time there was nobody talking about dropshipping in South Africa, and it looked like a good idea to get into that, not only from a perspective of helping people, but from a business standpoint, it was a real opportunity. So that's how I got started.
Wow, this is cool stuff. I like guys, who are not hoarding the idea, because there's ideas people, and they want to keep it to themselves because it kind of benefits them. And they just like open up, it's open up.
And it's not like nobody knew what dropshipping was. There were tons of people that were already making it in dropshipping, but they're holding all of that information to themselves.
Wow.
So I've met like a ton of successful people in the business.
Wow. Let's go back to the the basics or the mechanics of how dropshipping works, because the show is actually, have you got what it takes? So we want to find out, what does it take, for one to start? What are the various basic things that you'd say somebody must have?
So like practical steps that they would have to take. Okay. Um, well, obviously you're getting into the business of selling stuff on the internet. I think a really good place to start would be figuring out what you can sell. All right, what can you sell? And there's multiple things, just looking around me. These are all things that you can drop ship: microphones, routers, and all types of things around us.
Yeah.
So the first stage that I would recommend anybody to start is what can you sell? But I would highly recommend that you sell products that would be useful to people, because people are more likely to buy something that's useful as opposed to something that
luxury.
Yeah, a luxurious product. There's a market for luxury, but you'll be able to reach higher heights of success. Your chances of success are increased when you're selling something that makes people's lives better, creates a convenience, fixes a problem, as opposed to like just vanity products. So once you have this idea, then you can move on to actually finding a supplier which you can get these products from. And that's a bit challenging, but this is one of the things that I would be able to share with people. But there are suppliers out there. You just need to approach them with the proposal of dropshipping.
And you're talking about local, international suppliers?
It can be local, it can be international suppliers, but you have to consider, if you're using an international supplier, then you have to consider, and you're going to be selling locally, then you have to consider how long is the shipping time from like overseas, right? So you don't want to make people, like, if you order something on, do you know Wish? The Wish app?
Yes.
Yeah, if you order something over there, it's going to take like 2-3 months, which is a very long time. So that's not a good business model. You're going to have a customer service problem. Yeah, those are all things I went through, went downhill, like started from the bottom.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so if you can find suppliers locally, great. Then, because shipping would be approximately 3 business days. If you find a supplier internationally, make sure the supplier is able to fulfill the order at least within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Which is 10 business days. Yeah. So the supplier thing it's very important. There's a lot of detail that I can go into, but because of time. So once you have a supplier, then at this point it's time to start implementing the actual business. So you want to get a website done. So you can either get somebody to do the website for you, or you can try figure it out yourself. And the platform that I would highly recommend is Shopify. I'm currently running all my online stores on Shopify.
Wow.
It's not it's not cheap, but it's super efficient. Right? You'll be able to get stuff. It's not for programmers. It's not for I'm not a web developer per se, but I can get a website up and running within no time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you would say that those are the very basics that you definitely
Yes. So good product or good products. Get a good supplier. All right. And get a website up and running. Wow. Those are, like, if you can get those things done, then you have pretty much achieved quite a lot. At this point, you just need to start selling, which is a whole other thing.
It's a whole other topic by itself.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. And talking about selling, and I read a statistic that says up to 25% of all purchases are returned. This is something got on internet, with fashion and health, beauty items showing the highest rates. How does one prevent or reduce returns, product returns.
Okay.
Because, like the risk in this is that the customer has not handled it, has not gone to the shop to actually physically see this is something that they actually want. How do you minimize that at least?
Yeah. 25% is super high. I think the stats that I'm aware of is around 15%, and so, which is still high, right? And I believe, based on my experience, I'm pretty sure the industry that has the highest return is fashion. And that is usually because of people have to fit clothes. And that becomes problematic, especially when it comes to drop shipping, because majority of fashion that you are drop shipping is coming from outside of South Africa, and they are dealing with different sizes over there.
Yes,
so if you think of
absolutely.
Asian sizes, like an Asian large is probably a small, treating small and medium to us. So somebody goes on your website, they order a large, they're thinking they're going to get a large.
Sure.
So I think one way you can reduce returns is the responsibility that you can take is to advertise as accurately as you can. Don't try to take shortcuts. Make sure you have the size charts, accurate charts. All right, so that's your responsibility if you're selling fashion, for example. And if you're selling like other, let's say maybe you said beauty.
Yes. Cosmetics.
With beauty products, I would say, I think it has a lot to do with your product description, and the images that people see.
Okay.
So
what you see is what you get.
literally, yeah. Whatever the customer buys and what they see on your website, that is what they are expecting to get. So if your images are kind of blurry, or maybe you're just showing one angle of the product.
Yeah.
So I would say try to have really good pictures,
realistic.
number one. And that goes with having a good supplier.
Yeah.
And show different angles of the product. Have size charts if it's fashion.
Wow.
Precise advertising, that's what you want to do to
Wow.
avoid returns. In my business, we have very minimal returns, less than 1%.
Wow. Man.
So although it's not fashion, but fashion, I would say if you have a 3% return rate, that would be good. So out of 100 people, only 3 people return.
Wow.
That is very acceptable.
Wow, that is really good stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's called return proofing.
Yes.
Your business.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
And I want to find out the big question: how profitable is drop shipping?
That's the question everybody asks me.
Yes.
It's quite profitable. Well, number one, it's a business. It also has overheads. Especially if you're doing it at a large scale. You're doing a lot of spending on maybe running ads on Facebook or Google, and maybe you're paying somebody to do your graphics or to do your website. So those are the type of overheads you can expect out of a dropshipping business. You don't have to rent an office or anything. You can completely run it from, where you live. So the biggest overheads that you can expect is, number one, the biggest is advertising. All right. Number two, I would say, number two would probably be, if you're running on Shopify, most likely it would be Shopify, which is hosting, website hosting.
Yes.
and transaction fees. Transaction fees are about, if you're just starting out, transaction fees are about 2.5%.
Wow.
And Shopify also takes 2% of the transaction fees. If you're really good with doing your own graphics, then you don't have to worry about graphics and doing or managing your social media platform. So those are literally the overheads that you can expect.
Wow.
And apart from that, then it would make the typical profit margins that I usually recommend when you're selling a product. I usually recommend, now this is part of your product research. Try to go for products that you're able, or products that allow you to make, I would say,
Margins,
a margin that is 50% upwards. Because if it's less than 50%, then you still have these
All these
overheads that may eat into the 50%, and then
Sure.
maybe you find yourself with,
Sure.
at the end of the day, you have 10% profit left. So the higher your profit margin is, the more profit you will make.
Sure.
So 50%, and it goes up to, this is the nice thing about dropshipping, it goes up to 100%.
Wow.
One of our stores, just on cost of the product, I think we make about 150%.
Wow.
So that allows us to spend a lot more on advertising.
Yes, it gives you that leverage.
And, at the end of the day, deducting all expenses, even tax, then you're still left with a good amount of profit.
Wow.
So... yeah.
This is cool stuff, man. I mean, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dropshipping, I think, is one of, just e-commerce in general. Actually, let me say dropshipping. Dropshipping is probably one of the most profitable online business models. More profitable than an online store that keeps stock. Because if you look at Takealot, they have a ton of overheads because they're responsible of their own warehousing. They're responsible of their own trucks. They get their own trucks, right?
Yeah.
They have a whole building.
Yes.
Whereas that wouldn't be the case with a dropshipping business. So, like with myself, we're able to turn over, sell a lot of products around South Africa, and I'm still working from my home office,
Wow.
So we don't need all of that. Yeah.
Just like the expenses just get cut like hectically.
It's
This
quite
is
crazy.
good
It's quite
stuff.
crazy.
Wow.
I can't think of a business model that has so many advantages.
Yeah, this is awesome. Guys, if you're tuning in right now, if you're listening, you better latch on. We're going to talk about how you latch on, how you're going to latch on, how you get equipped, because as he said, he's a coach, all right? He's not just a business owner. He is a coach and he runs an academy. So we want to talk about, say, there is... I can imagine, let me just say it that way because I don't know, but I can imagine that there is stiff competition because of easy access or easy entry. It's a bit easier to enter into drop shipping.
Yeah.
How can one set themselves apart from the competition? What are some of the things you can actually do to set yourself totally apart?
Okay. I wouldn't say, well, I understand a lot of people have a perception that it doesn't cost a lot of money to get in, so access is easy, and so there are a lot of people doing this.
Okay.
But that's not really the case. It's not an easy business per se. The access is easy, but it's not necessarily an easy business because there are a lot of things that go into it. You need to understand digital marketing. You need to understand a lot of variables. You understand? That's why with the academy, then we're able to coach you and get you to to a better place much more faster, as opposed to if you were doing it on your own. So I wouldn't worry too much about competition, but just typically, if you walk into a mall, if you think how many fashion stores are there just in one mall.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
Yes.
But if you pay attention, they all have a different. They all have a different audience.
Yes, niche.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what you want to focus on. You need to have your own niche. That is essentially. That's the short answer. If you can find a niche in whatever you're selling, we can literally sell shirts. You can sell a white shirt, I can sell a white shirt, and then we have two different customers. You can focus on low-end customers that can afford to buy a shirt for $100. Then I can sort of set up my marketing in such a way that I present it in a luxurious feel. It's all about creating a perception. Then the same shirt I can sell for probably $500.
Wow.
You understand? So it's about targeting a specific type of customer. You understand? So that's pretty much how you can, and that goes into marketing angles. How you position your product determines who your customer will be.
Wow, this is really good stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot we can talk about that, but the simple answer is, especially for people that are listening right now and want to sort of start thinking about this, then I think a really good place to something they should consider as they are conceptualizing everything is start determining who their customer will be.
Okay.
You understand? Where are they located? So if you take South Africa, you have to consider, okay, my customers are in Cape Town, Johannesburg. They are all in the urban areas, right? So you also want to focus on people that are perhaps maybe people that are employed. So you're not going to focus on 17-year-old kids because they don't have money, right? And, you know, so you have to really go in that deep to sort of figure out who your customer is. What are their income, you know, what do I say? What do people say? Their tax bracket? Like just to sort of figure out how much disposable income they have, you know?
Wow, this is good stuff, guys. You're gonna have to do your research. This is and I believe that Sylvester will be very available to help in that. If you want to set yourself up, you know, as you know, in drop shipping and all that. Well, this is incredible. I believe that you're getting some incredible value out of this. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. So if you want to get more information, please, you know, drop a comment, whether on our Facebook video under the video, or if you can contact us on our number is 069 402 1131. So contact us on 069 402 1131 about dropshipping, and we'll contact you. We'll link you straight to Sylvester. So Sylvester, we want to talk just a little bit about the academy just before we round up things. So just give us a little bit info. You know, where is the academy running? Give us a bit more information.
Okay, so we have what we call Dropshipping Academy. Literally, if you go on Google and type in Dropshipping Academy, that's the first result. That's it. Dropshippingacademy.co.za, and this is the platform that I use to sort of coach and mentor people that are serious about starting their business. You know, people go through different stages where they're still thinking about dropshipping. At Dropshipping Academy, we take practical steps to get started. So when you're at a point that you want to get started, then you come to Dropshipping Academy. So we'll be able to we have a course over there that we sell for $4,999. 4,999, almost 5,000. This course covers almost everything, all the way from A to Z, from just the introduction of dropshipping, understanding what you're doing, into product research, branding, suppliers. We share with you suppliers that you can actually work with. So you don't even have to do research per se, because we're giving you all of the resources and we're showing you practical steps of how you can start. Okay. And something that's very important for people to understand is most people are employed, people are busy during the day. This is an online platform, so you're able to sort of make your own time. log in on our platform and have access to all of the resources in a format, in video format. So if you're somebody that doesn't like reading, I know people.
I know. Especially
So
this
you don't
young
have to. It's not like textbooks, that you have to read. No, you're just watching.
play.
You're just watching me teach you stuff, telling you what to do. Take this step. Choose option A. Do this.
Yeah.
Go there. You understand? I show you very practical steps that you can literally take on your own, and at the end of the day, you have your own thing going. And of course, we don't expect you to get everything. Just get into this whole journey by yourself. We do offer you support. Whenever you have questions, we're able to sort of address them. And also, we're able to you're able to schedule time. As a student, you're able to schedule time with me where we can talk about what you're doing. Maybe you meet challenges. Maybe you're at a point where you want to start scaling your business. You're making 50,000 a month. You want to figure out how to make 100,000 rand a month.
Wow.
Then we're able to have like consulting calls where I'll be able to help you for free because you paid us 4,999.
Absolutely, man. This is very encouraging, guys.
Yeah.
You better latch on that. This is just an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. They say, opportunity knocks once at every man's door. You better latch on this. So, talking about them latching on this, how do they get in touch with you? Do you have social media pages, website, email addresses, any contacts that they can actually get in touch with, Dropshipping Academy to get to sign up?
Okay. So to get in touch with us, I would highly recommend our email address. You can find that on our website. Like I said, if you just go on Google, type in Dropshipping Academy, the first result, .co.za is the one you should click on. Over there, we have our email address, or you can get in touch with me directly on Sylvester at dropshippingacademy.co.za. Yeah, that's the best way to get in touch with me directly. Social media pages, you can, on Facebook, we're Dropshipping Academy. We're not very active on Instagram. So I would recommend either getting in touch with us directly would be great.
Awesome.
Email.
Awesome. Yeah. Ladies and gents, that has been Sylvester Buti of Dropshipping Academy. It's all about drop shipping. And we want to find out, have you got what it takes to become a drop shipping, to own a drop shipping business and to thrive and to do it successfully? If you want to do that, as he has said, please contact them. We'll share all the information just on our Facebook so that you can, get in touch with Sylvester directly, email him, call him, whatever, so that you can get started on this journey to make your business thrive. It's me, your host, John. If you have any questions, please drop them on our other inboxes or just drop them on the comment section and we're going to get back to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Sylvester, for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Cool. So we're going to listen to an incredible song called Turning Around by Vashon Mitchell. God richly bless you.